In this video, the topic we are going to discuss is internet plus voice configuration. So for that, the device I'm going to connect first is a dual band ONT called HG323DAC. Now let's first log into it. For that, open your web browser. In the URL column of the browser, enter the default IP address of the ONT. After entering it, provide the username and password. Now, if there are any existing configurations in this ONT, I am just deleting them. Okay, so I am deleting all the configurations here. Now let's see how we can configure voice plus internet in this. As we know, whether we configure internet or voice, the ISP will provide proper details for that. There will be a VLAN for it. VLAN may sometimes be optional. In some cases, there will be a VLAN, and in some cases, there won't be. Anyway, if VLAN is present, we need to enter the VLAN. After that, if it is username/password based, we enter that. Or if it is static, we must properly enter IP address, subnet mask, gateway, DNS, etc. Normally, when we configure internet after accessing the network, we change the mode to root. Then we set IP version to IPv4. Then we choose the connection method such as DHCP, static, or PPPoE. In my case, it is PPPoE. After that, we enable the NAT option. Then, if VLAN is available, we enter the VLAN provided by the ISP. Then we enter the username and password. After that, we select the service mode as internet. This is how we normally configure internet. After that, when we add a new WAN connection, we again set bridge to root. Then after DSCP, instead of internet, we select VoIP and configure voice. This is how we normally configure internet and voice separately. In this video, what we are going to see is some ISPs may provide separate VLANs for internet and voice. In that case, we need to configure separate WAN connections, one for internet and another for voice. But in this case, we are looking at how to configure when the same VLAN is provided for both internet and voice. Some ISPs provide separate VLANs for internet and voice. Some ISPs provide the same VLAN for both internet and voice. If the same VLAN is used for both, then there is no need to configure separate WAN connections. Now let's see how that is done. Now I will show how to configure the internet. If we check the current status, there are no configurations done here. So let's see how to do it. Click on Network. Inside that, check if the connection name is Add New One. Then set the mode to Bridge to Root. Then set IP version to IPv4. After that, select the method, whether it is DHCP, static, or PPPoE. In my case, since username and password are provided, I select PPPoE. Then check the network address translation, NAT. If it is disabled, enable it. Then enable VLAN. First confirm with the ISP whether the same VLAN is used for both internet and voice. If it is the same VLAN, enter that VLAN ID here. In my case, it is 105, so I enter 105. If a specific MTU value is provided by the ISP, maximum transmission unit, enter that value here. In my case, I am entering 1480. Then enter the PPPoE username and password provided. After that, if a service name is provided by the ISP, only then enter it. If not, leave it blank. If entered incorrectly, it may cause disconnection. Only enter the details provided by the ISP. In my case, no service name is provided, so I am leaving it blank. Next is service mode. Since we are configuring both internet and voice using the same VLAN, we must select VoIP plus internet or VoIP_internet. If it was only internet, we could select internet. If only voice, VoIP. But since both are together, select VoIP plus internet. Then bind all ports, LAN 1, LAN 2, Wi-Fi. After that, click apply, wait for some time. After applying, go to status and check one connection info to see whether the status is up or down. In my case, the status is up. For the status to be up, the VLAN must be created in the OLT assigned to the ports, and the ONU must be successfully registered and bound in the OLT. Only then the status will be up. In this case, the status is already up. After this, we proceed with the remaining voice settings as usual. Go to Application, then click Advanced NAT. There is a protocol called SIP. If it is disabled, enable it. After enabling, click Save and Apply, then go to VoIP under Application. Here we enter the primary SIP register address, secondary SIP register address, account number, account name, password, etc. The ISP will provide a SIP address or IP. Enter that address properly in the first 5 fields. In my case, I use the same IP for secondary SIP register address, proxy address, and enable outbound proxy. Then enter the same IP as the outbound proxy address. For SIP domain, also enter the same IP. Then go down and enable line 1 account. Enter the account number. My telephone number is 048522515539. Replace the starting 0 with country code 91. So it becomes 914852251539. Then for account name or user account, enter the same number. Then enter the voice password provided by the ISP. After that, click Apply Changes. Then check Status arrow WAN info to confirm internet and voice connection status. Also check VoIP information to see whether it is registering or registered. If all SIP and voice configurations are correct, the status will change from registering to registered. So that's it. We have configured this on a dual band ONT. Next, let's see how to do this on a single band ONT. For that, I have connected an HG323RGW ONT to this computer. Let's log into that ONT. This ONT is already reset, so we need to change its password first. Okay, now let's see how to configure voice and internet in this ONT. First, click on the network option. If there are any default configurations in network that are not required, simply click the delete button and remove them. After deleting them, select connection name as add new one connection. Then change the mode from bridge to root. Then select IPv4 as the IP protocol. After that, confirm whether the mode is DHCP static or PPPoE. Then enable that method. I am selecting PPPoE here. After that, tick the Enable NAT option. Then, if VLAN needs to be enabled, enable it. If the ISP has provided a VLAN, enable VLAN. Confirm whether the same VLAN is being used for both internet and voice. Then enter that VLAN. In my case, it is 100. So I am entering 100 here. After that, I am entering the username and password. Then in the service mode field, instead of internet, here in this single band ONT, unlike the dual band ONT where we saw the VoIP option, we need to select the option called voice_internet. Select that option. After that, bind the ports and Wi-Fi. Click Save and Apply. Then check in status under WAN connection info whether the status is up or down. In my case, the status is down because I have not created this VLAN in the OLT. If the VLAN is created and assigned in the OLT, then it will show the status as up. So if you get down status while configuring, check the configurations in the OLT. Check whether the VLAN has been created, added and tagged properly in the OLT. Okay, after completing the WAN connection, while configuring the WAN, always make sure the service mode is set as voice_internet. We had a small mistake in the username here, so let's correct the username once again and click Save and Apply. Now when we check WAN connection info under status, the status is up. The internet plus voice service mode is now up. So we have configured both internet and voice on the same VLAN. After that, go to applications. If the SIP protocol under applications is disabled, enable it. Then click Save and Apply. After that, open VoIP under applications. In VoIP, enter the SIP register address provided by the ISP. Then enable the option called Enable Outbound Proxy. In the first 5 columns, fill in the same SIP register address provided by the ISP. Then at the bottom, enable line 1. Enter the account number here. Replace the 0 with the country code before entering it. Enter the same number in the account name field as well. Then properly enter the voice password provided by the ISP. After that, click Save and Apply. In my case, when I click Save and Apply, it is not clicking. Sometimes while entering VoIP information, if Save and Apply is not working, just clear the browser history. After clearing the history, enter the VoIP details once again. Okay, now when I clicked Save and Apply, it got applied successfully. After that, we can check WAN connection info and VoIP information under status. If all the details are entered properly, the VoIP information status will change from registering to registered. So that is all about the configuration required when both voice and internet are using the same VLAN. While configuring, make sure the username, password and VLAN are entered properly. In our case, there was a small mistake in the VLAN and username initially, which is why it showed disconnected at first. But after entering the username and password correctly, the status became up. So while configuring, properly check whether there are any spelling mistakes in the username, password or similar details. These are the main things we need to pay attention to in this configuration.